Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Erica and today I will be doing my 2022 Project Pan intro, and it's the last day of 2021, so I'm pre-filming a lot of these videos, and also I still think it's 2021 because technically in this video, well, when I'm filming it, it is 2021. So I've put all my Project Pan items into this cute little bag from Too Faced, and it says "You're so hot" on the back. Yes, and Too Faced on this side. And you know you're Asian when you don't remove any of the protective coverings on things. But anyway, I have a stash of products in here that I want to hit my goals on / pan for the year. And if you don't know what a Project Pan is, it's basically a project where you go through your makeup collection and you pick out items that you want to use up completely. And Project Panning usually gives you the mindset of more mindful spending because you actually realize how much money you're spending on your collection, and well, not how much money, you realize how long it takes to use up makeup. So for a lot of people, Project Panning has made them spend less money on makeup because they realize how long it takes to use up products and also how quickly makeup products expire. So it's not really good for collecting, but rather if you buy it, you should use it. So for me, I actually had the opposite happen to me. I wasn't really wearing makeup, but once I started panning, I was encouraged to wear more makeup, so I was buying more makeup. So for a while, I had a decent sized collection, but now my collection is a little bit on the bigger side. Well, for me, but I feel like as long as I'm using everything and I'm happy with my collection, it's fine, whatever size it is. So yeah, I'm gonna get started with the products that are in here, and the first one that's sticking out is the PUR Archnemesis brow pencil. This is in the shade Dark. It is brand new. I bought this item to Project Pan, and you might think that's stupid, and maybe it is, but I want to see how long it takes to use this up because a very famous Project Panner, Kelly Gooch, or I guess well-known Project Panner Kelly Gooch, said it took her over a year to pan this. And she said she fills in her brows as well, and it's not like she has naturally thick brows, so she actually has to use quite a bit of this, and that really intrigued me because I also barely have brows. I need to fill in my brows whenever I do my makeup, and so yes, my brows are drawn in. I do have the natural shape for it, I just don't have the hairs for it. Like, my hair isn't very thick, like my brow hair isn't very thick or dark, so that is why I thought this would be interesting. And I want to see how long it takes me to pan this, because if it takes me over a year to pan, then I would just buy this for the rest of my life because it's a good bang for your buck. I believe this is a little bit on the pricier side though. I think it's close to $30. So this is what it looks like. I think on one side there's a micro brow. Yeah. On this side there's like a micro brow, and on the other side is more of a triangle. Yep. And it's a 4-in-1, so I don't know where the fourth part is. Yeah, I'm a little bit confused how this is a 4-in-1. There are, well, I guess there is a brush right here to comb through your brows. I've never used a brush like this, so I have no idea how well it's going to work. But I am intrigued to see how long this lasts. As you can see, it is brand spanking new. I am not going to turn it all the way up to measure how much product is in the packaging, because every time I do that, I usually break the product or it gets stuck and then I break it. So I'd rather not do that. I would just see how long it lasts, and the day it runs out will probably be a very bad surprise for me. I'm just going to predict it right now. It's going to be when I'm rushing to work and I run out of product. But I'm excited to see how long this lasts. Next I have this. This is actually a eau de parfum from Something Special. It is supposed to be a knockoff for the Jo Malone perfume, Orange Blossom, and it smells just like it, but it costs a fraction of the price, and plus, I'm pretty sure there's some controversy with Jo Malone because when is there not? I got this off of Etsy and I want to use it completely. Although I must say, one thing when I use this, I feel like my throat closes a little bit. I'm not sure if I'm allergic to something in here because it doesn't happen every single time. But I want to use this up completely. This was not in my planning to pan. I just threw it in because I needed 10 products. And so this is the 9th one, I believe. And I have quite a bit to go. I think I'm going to mark this using washi tape. It's a very nice scent. It's very it smells like honeysuckle, and it just smells like honeysuckle actually. I don't really smell the orange. And I grew up eating honeysuckle. If you didn't know you can eat honeysuckle, you I think have to rip off the end of the flower and then you lick the little bit of nectar that's there. But honeysuckle looks a lot like a different plant that you cannot eat, so be careful. This smells really good and I wanted this for such a long time, but now that I have it, I don't really wear perfume as much. I don't remember why. I think I'm just lazy, but this smells really good. I think also the fact that sometimes it makes my throat close is a turn off, but it hasn't happened to me recently, so I think if I just use less, my throat won't close up. Moving on to cheek products, I have my bronzer in here. This is the NARS. I have 2 of these, as you can see. So this is the NARS Casino bronzer, and I already have pan in it from another project, and my goal is to use this up completely. It looks very dark in the pan, but it's kind of old, so it's very faded. I don't even think it's going to show up on me when I have this foundation on, so maybe you have to wear it on no foundation days. It doesn't show up this dark on my skin because I'm assuming it's at least 2 years old. It came from a NARS palette. I really have no idea how old this bronzer is because I got it from a friend, and then I returned the blushes to her after depotting it. So it came from that very same face palette I've had for, yeah, over a year. So it has to be at least 2 years old at this point. But I want it out of my collection because it is so old and because it doesn't really show up on my skin. So I can't wait to get it out because there's barely anything left of it. So my bronzer numbers are going to drop. That's very exciting. And yeah, I would not repurchase that. For highlighters, I'm only putting 1 in this project pan for now, but this is a little bit light on me. This is the Too Faced Glowver highlighter. As you can see, it's very, very reflective. On the inside, there's a picture of Glowver, and I have been using this over the winter months to kind of test it out. I was using December to kind of test out new products that I wanted to pan, and on camera it's not showing up as Clover's face being kind of dented in, but in person I can see it. It's probably because it's shimmery and it's reflecting light in a way that makes it more smooth. I think this highlighter is pretty. I have it on today with another highlighter, which is my Essence Coffee to Glow highlighter. Isn't this cute? They're like little coffee beans, but this is too dark for me, and this is too light for me. But when you mix them together, it's pretty nice, actually. I like the finish on this more than the finish on this, so I don't think I would buy Glowver again either. And my goal on this is only to hit pan in it. I'm not trying to use it up completely because that would take me the whole year, and I have other highlighters I would like to use up as well. I'm trying to use January and February, I guess the earlier months of the year, to pan products that are a little bit too light for me later on in the year. I didn't get that light this year actually because I was still going on walks every single day when there was sun out, so I still got a little bit darker than I normally would be. I was gonna say brown, I don't know if that's the correct word. The blush I want to pan this year is the same as last year. This is NARS Deep Throat, and last year I was able to hit pan. So this is what it looks like. Deep Throat looks like NARS Orgasm, but with a lot less gold shimmer in it. So that's why I like it, because I like the color of it. I don't want the shimmers. It does still have some shimmers in it. It's not completely matte, but it is much more matte than Orgasm. The names are terrible, I know. My goal is to use this up completely. And while I do have pan in it, I feel like I have at least 70% of the product left. Yeah, 70% or a little bit less of the product left to go. So It's probably still going to take me a while to hit pan on this, but it is really light on my skin for most of the year, so I have to use it before I get to summer and I get really tan, because I tan very quick and I get pale very quick. But because I've been out in the sun, because I've been out in the sun or exposed to sun for more than I normally would be, the time I can use this is much shorter for the upcoming year. Okay, this is the last non-lip product I have in this project pan. This is my Persona Cosmetics I almost did it again. I almost always try to say Identity 2 eyeshadow palette, but this is the Persona Cosmetics 24-hour waterproof liner in the shade Brown. Very creative name, but at least it's accurate. So this is how much I have left on it. There's barely any left compared to how much was in it, I feel like. Maybe I used up half of it. The tip is dirty because I used it today. And I really like this eyeliner. It is just like using a liquid liner, but more environmentally friendly, because I think this is made out of wood, or at least part wood. Maybe recycled wood. I don't know. It's just like using a liquid liner. It is so creamy and easy to apply. And when you like tap on the back of your hand, you know how some eyeliners are kind of harder and they hurt to use? This one doesn't. Like, if you think you accidentally made a mark on your skin, you probably did. So that's why I like this, and it's waterproof, so it lasts in my eyes all day unless I rub. I really like this, and I want to use it up before it expires on me, even though it has a 2-year shelf life. I think I bought this year. No, sorry. I bought this in 2021, so technically it's not going to expire anytime soon, but I have so many liners that I want to get through, and I don't want this one to go bad because I was neglecting it. And I do usually use a brown liner every single day that I'm doing eyeshadow. Moving on to lip products, and I have 4 of them in here. I first have this Wet n Wild lip liner in the shade 711 Chestnut. This has been in 3 project pans, and it is time for it to leave my collection. I am putting this in this project pan at this time of the year because normally I would put it in at the end of the year because it is a more vampy color. But I'm putting it in now because it is winter and it is darker than what I'm wearing right now. And I feel like it's good for this time of the year. Once it hits spring, I'm probably going to take this out of this project pan and put it back in the later months. So around September is probably when I'm going to put this back into the project pan. So I'm going to have this in until March, I think, and then take it out, put it back in September. If I haven't used it up completely by then, which I don't think I will. I think maybe I'll be to the bunny by March because I have a different product in this project pan that I'm trying to hit pan on first because it is expiring and I don't want it to expire on me. And it is the LAKA lipstick. I don't know what the shade is, but it is supposed to be a pink nude, and it is too pink to be nude on my lips. This is what it looks like. I would say 10% of the time it looks okay on my lips by itself, but normally I have to mix it with something else. This is a matte lipstick, but it is a gel formula, so it is actually extremely comfortable to wear. And I have not found another lipstick that looks like this, where it is matte, but really comfortable without looking satin. This expires on February 20th. So I am going to be putting all of my priority into using this product up first because, as you can see, this is how much I have left. And let me see if I can find the original. I think the original has like maybe a few millimeters more product than this. So this is how much it's supposed to come with. And so I've used up quite a bit already, but I need to use it up completely. I think if I don't use this up by the expiration date on here, I'm going to stop using it on my lips and use it on my cheeks as a cream blush because I think it looks quite nice as a cream blush. And the next product I have was in my project pan last year as well, but it's not the exact same item. It's the exact same product. This is the Fenty Beauty lip gloss, gloss bomb in the shade Fenty Glow. As you all know, last year I tried to get rid of everything Fenty that I owned, and I was successful. But I still have this because it was a present and I couldn't say no. I think the product itself is alright. So I want to get it out of my collection as soon as possible, and I'm going to do it through this project pan because this makes any ugly ass lip color look fine. So, shit. So I was thinking if I pair these two together, I would be able to pan them faster because this, like I said, doesn't look great on my lips. I always have to use something over it or under it to shade adjust, and this makes colors underneath it look fine. So I think I'll just pair these two together so I can use it up faster. The last product in my project pan that I want to pan completely is this. This is the Nature Republic Eco Lip Gloss. I only found out like an hour ago that this is from 2020. So I need to use this up as soon as possible because I really like this color. It is like, I don't know how to explain it, a rosy lip color. It makes my lips look really nice. It's not a very shiny lip gloss. It just makes my lips look healthy, and it's kind of a My Lips But Better shade. It reminds me of Champagne Mommy or Flying Horses from ColourPop, and I really like those colors, but I don't buy from ColourPop anymore. I'm going to try and pan this as soon as possible as well because there is no expiration date on here, and that's a little bit worrying. And I really like this. I would hate to see this expire on me because I didn't use it up because I didn't know how old it was. So that's everything I'm going to be panning for this year. Obviously, as I use up products, I'm going to be rolling them out and rolling in new products. I think I am going to have the rule of maintaining at least 10 products in this project pan, and if I don't roll anything out because I didn't use anything up or hit my goal on anything, I'm going to roll one product in at a time instead of two, unless I have something I really want to pan, but I don't see that happening. So yeah, that's everything. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Happy panning for 2022, and I'll see you in the next month. Bye!